What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of Horror Hotline. Woo woo!
Is it hard for you not to say horror hotties?
It honestly kind of
felt like it was going to come right out of your mouth.
It feels like horror hotties should come out of my mouth, but you know what's funny is like having you sitting next to me instead of a bunch of hot girls reminds me that this is something different.
Thanks.
No
so
offense.
I don't look like a bunch of hot girls to you?
No, not really. Maybe to the viewers, but right. So we have got 2 callers this week, you guys, and we do have 2 stories to bring to you. So let's go ahead and get our intro rolling, and then we'll get into it. God, I still love that intro. It is
The
just
music is
so
so
cool.
good. Yeah.
So spooky. All right.
So we got people calling tonight?
We do. We've got 2 awesome new callers.
You mean to the show where people call in?
Yeah, that's like what they do, right? That's what we do, at least.
All right. So I guess well, let's talk a little bit about the week. We've got a we're starting to get smarter about how we do these shows and get everything lined up. So we'd like to welcome everybody, and I think this week we're going to start with a story from Bex.
Yes, we are. And I did find like somewhat of a good one. So my story comes from outsideonline.com. We want to cite our sources.
Right.
Storyteller's name is Brad Culp. So Brad was a student at Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. And there was a rumor that the town was one of the most haunted places in America. Now, when Culp started an on-campus magazine, he couldn't wait to write about several of the area's most famous phantoms. Not long after his story published, though, he kept finding himself thinking about one ghost in particular.
Oh, boy.
The ghost of Oxford Milford Road. Woo.
That's a good name.
I know, right? So, as the story...
I'm sorry. What do you call Oxford for short? You call them Oxy?
Oxys? I don't know.
All right. That's going to go weird. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
So, as the story goes, many decades ago, probably sometime in the 1940s, there was a young man courting a young woman in a rural part of town. Because the woman's parents didn't approve of the match, that's so old school, each night he visited under the cover of darkness. After her parents went to bed, the young woman would sneak out of her farmhouse and flash the lights of her parents' car 3 times, and then her young suitor would ride his motorcycle down the road. One night, he took the turn right before her house a little too sharp, says Culp. The motorcycle went one way, and unfortunately, he went the other way.
Okay.
His injuries were so severe that he did not survive, and rumor has it that his love-struck ghost still haunts that stretch of Milford Road.
Of course he does. What else is he going to do?
Now, curious Culp, his girlfriend, now his wife, and a friend decided to head out there one night to see if they could verify this tale.
So they went ghost hunting.
They did. They went ghost hunting at Oxford Milford Road. It's kind of a mouthful. So his girlfriend was worried that she would be completely freaked out. She believes more in that stuff than I do, he said. But he was mostly concerned that his suspicions, that none of it was actually true, would be confirmed. So he didn't really believe in the phantom at all. Now, on this particular night, as Culp passed the abandoned farm, an idea came to him and he pitched it to his girlfriend. And of course, how could she not say yes?
Right.
Though reluctant, she relented and Culp turned a short way into the farmhouse driveway. Okay. Now, he killed the engine and flashed his lights 3 times, just like the suitor would do.
Right.
Now, he says, no joke, there was a single headlight that appeared 3/4 of a mile down the road.
There's the first one.
There's the first one, right?
The chills.
Now, he says, you saw it start to come, going pretty slow, and it kept coming and coming closer.
Right.
My wife was freaking out as it was coming closer. A collision seemed imminent. Culp turned on his car lights, because mind you, they were still in the car.
Right.
So they're seeing this bike coming, the headlight coming towards them, and they're like, what the heck, man, it's not stopping. Now, he expected to see a kid on the bike or someone on the bike bailing out from the prank now, and expecting that he would be caught trying to freak them out, but nothing was there. The light just disappeared.
It just went out.
Just went out.
Just disappeared.
Now, they got out of the car. They walked around trying to figure out what it was that they could have seen. And to this day, they still talk about it and they cannot explain where this light came from. Now, he says if you get him and his wife around a campfire, if you get him and his wife around a campfire, they will swear up and down that this story is true. And if you're ever in Oxford, Ohio, consider parking for just a few minutes on Oxford Milford Road to test your own
Where in
nerve.
Ohio?
Well, it's in Oxford, so I'm assuming
so the name
we're
is Oxford.
Yeah.
And the guy's name was Oxford.
No, the guy's name was Culp. Brian Culp.
Brian Culp. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was the guy's name, but no, I like that. It's a good road name.
Right? Isn't that cool? I thought that
That's
was
a good story. I
little
like that. That's a
good
good.
little
Could you
story.
imagine being there and then like sitting in the car and just? I mean,
One single headlight be heading
no,
towards
it was
you.
perfect. We got to go do that one.
Right.
Absolutely, we got to go do that one.
All right. So next up, I believe we're going to be taking a call.
We're gonna, instead of taking a call, we're gonna make a call because it's
yeah.
just easier that way. And I don't know. Let's go with Wilton first. Let's
go, Wilton.
Up. So Wilton's number is. I'm not gonna say it out loud.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Wilton, we're coming for you, man. It is now. Hey, Sean's here. Hey, Sean.
Welcome,
aboard. Who else is
Sean.
here? I know Jason is watching.
Yeah, if you're watching, definitely chime in the chat. We love to say hi to you guys.
All right. It should be ringing here in a second. Oh, there it goes. All right. Uh-oh. Maine's got one.
Hello.
Wilton Cruz, how are you today?
Welcome to
Doing
the
well.
Horror Hotline.
Oh,
Sorry,
that's a
I
great
screwed that
welcome.
up. We're supposed to let that welcome happen like that each time. I messed up.
That's okay. Next one.
Next one.
Exactly. I like the welcome, though. That was fantastic.
Right.
Thank
Came out of
you.
nowhere, though. That was killing. Automatically, was killing.
We
Right.
love to see it. Well, we love to hear it.
So, Mr. Cruz, you have a spooky story for us.
Yes, I do. I work in film and TV, and quite a few years ago, I was producing a show, a paranormal show, sort of something about similar to like Ghost Hunters. A friend of mine asked me to help him produce it, so they had a couple mediums and lined up, and they had a case out in the valley, and I got my camera and we shot there for the night. And did the whole setup with GoPros, the security cam footage, and I had the camera with the night vision on, and we were basically, the medium said, okay, we're going to start off in the bedroom, and it's just the medium and myself. At this point, everybody's camped out in the van. They got all the cameras up and everything.
Right.
It's kind of
So
cool that
we
they had a
got to-
medium there with you guys.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. They had like the medium and then the tech person and then, a couple other people in this whole like paranormal investigative team.
Right.
So I went in there with my camera equipment and sound equipment, and we started off in a bedroom, where apparently there was a ghost in there kind of terrorizing his family.
Lots of
And
activity in the bedroom.
Yeah, they got the meters out at first, and they were like, little things are going off. I didn't watch a lot of the ghost hunting shows at the time, so
Right.
it was like, okay, that's interesting. But it's just her and I, and it's pitch black in this room. It's not very big. It's like 2 twin beds, and the medium's on one bed, and she starts speaking to the spirits, and I'm like on the other side of the room just recording.
Right.
If I look left or right, it's pitch black, but the only vision I have is the actual
The frame
camera.
of the
Right.
shot.
Otherwise, you
Yeah,
can't
the
see
pop-out.
crap.
Right.
I can't see anything unless I'm looking, the pop-up viewer, and I'm just seeing green and stuff. But she starts speaking, and then meters start going off. I'm not seeing anything. I'm just filming her the whole time. But at that moment, like the room just started getting cold.
Oh, God, there's the
Like-
sign. There's your first sign. There's a spirit around.
Yeah, and I was like, I had a jacket on. I'm feeling fine, but it was like chills around me. All of a sudden, it just started getting colder and colder in the room. And she starts speaking. She's like, okay, I think there's a spirit in here. I'm like, whoa, okay. I don't see anything in the camera, but I feel
Right.
just like it got really cold up in here.
Mm-hmm.
And, at that moment, like, she's like, okay, spirit thing, she starts talking, and then something happens. We hear a noise, and then it's just like, starts going like nothing's happening, meters off. And I noticed on my camera that the battery pack is like really low.
Right.
So and I swore that it was a full pack.
Right.
And so I'm like, I got to go change batteries.
Right.
And I go downstairs to the kitchen and I grab another battery. I know this battery's full. and I put it into the camera, and it's also low. And then I hear on my walkie, one of the tech guys, he goes, "Hey, Wilton, do you want to, I'm just making sure that you're okay being part of the show." And I said, "Oh, what are you talking about, dude?"
Right.
And he goes, "Yeah, come out to the van." I go out to the van, and they show me footage of me leaning forward to the battery pack, and there's 3 orbs around me.
Oh boy!
Come on.
No, dude, and these are not like dust. These are not like dust particles floating through.
I'm gonna hold.
Like,
I'm gonna say pause for a second because number one, I want our viewers to understand that Wilton is not an idiot. He's around camera equipment all the time.
Right.
When I've seen a lot of flares. I know what a flare looks like in a shot versus what we're talking about here. Sorry, please go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is not a lens flare. You gotta imagine, like the kitchen had a small light on. I had turned on the small light in the kitchen, but
Right.
the rest of the house was pretty dark.
Mm-hmm.
This was not a flare. Like, this is not catching from that light, but you could see around me that there was these 3 floating orbs, and then like one would like take off. It was like,
Oh, it's so crazy.
the movement behind me was just floating, and behind, and one was kind of circling,
Right.
and then it just jetted off to the right of me. And so I was like, "What?" I was like, "What the
He's
heck?"
like, "What the heck,
And
man?"
he's like, "There's definitely something here." And the tech guy, he's recording everything, And so that was caught on the security camera with night vision.
Wow.
And he was like, "So now you're a part of the show."
Right.
He's like, "Yeah, well, welcome to you're no longer behind the scenes." Welcome,
what was the
our
answer to
world.
the question, though? Did you continue to work on the show, or did you get the hell out of there?
Well, it was just a one-night shoot. We were shooting this reel
perfect.
to
Right.
pitch a pilot episode, right? 'Cause
Right.
this whole team, they wanted to have their own show, and they get cases all over here in SoCal.
Right.
And so it was just filming them. If the show got picked up, then we were going to, basically just, continue to film them and have a whole series, 8-episode run and stuff. So this was meant to be like the first episode.
Right.
Excuse the sirens. There's something happening outside. I don't know. Maybe they heard the ghost story and they were scared.
That's crazy, though. I mean,
right.
what's like, they say that orbs and spirits in general, the fact that you had mentioned that your battery pack was randomly drained when you thought it was charged,
Right.
it does kind of make sense if you believe in that stuff, because spirits will drain energy from sources so that they can present themselves. So maybe they were draining the battery so that they could
say
show
hello
up for you guys.
to Wilton there.
Yeah, and exactly. And the main thing is my battery packs were, they're on the camera. They're like mobile, whereas the feed from like the security cameras were coming from somewhere else. So they were being direct fed into the van where this tech guy was recording all that stuff and just spotting where in the house things might show up, or he could hear sounds and he would direct the medium and the investigator over there and be like, "You guys got to go to the den or in the basement." And when we went to the basement, the freaky part was that there was like this little room under the stairs where the owners said that when they first moved in, they discovered this little like storage unit thing.
Right.
And when they opened it up, there was a single chair and like chains in there.
What kind of conjuring shit
hell
is that?
I was like, I'm out of this.
Hell no.
Get me out of here.
Jason agrees with me.
Yeah, and then they had another, or they had like a second meeting, but she was more like she gets in tune with the spirit. And she was like, Something went down here. And she's like, "I don't like the energy. This is weird. Something happened on the stairs." And then finally the owner was like, "Yeah, when we moved into the chair and some change." She's like, "Oh my God, there's something here." I was like, "I gotta go."
Right.
But the crazy part is that afterwards, they showed me the orbs and everything, and we were done filming for the night. We had enough footage for people.
Right.
And they basically kind of like surrounded us, and they did this kind of prayer, and they were like, "Look, we came in contact with some energies. You gotta like make sure they don't follow you home.
Yeah,
you don't track them."
Right.
And so they start saying the thing you got to tell them. He's like, he's the investigator telling me, I go into my car, like immediately, like look around and just say, "You're not allowed to follow me home.
Right.
You guys are not welcome.
Stay where you are. I don't want nothing to do with you.
Absolutely.
No.
Exactly. So I tell you, once I got in my car, I was, it was this point, it's like 5 a.m, going home,
Mhm.
and I am just yelling it out in my car. None of you are welcome.
That would so be me too.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, same.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I didn't actually see anything other than the orbs they showed me.
Right.
But I definitely felt it, because in the bedroom, when it was cold, you see the difference of like the space we were in, and when we exited the bedroom, it was like normal temperature.
Right. Well, and you weren't alone in the bedroom. You had the medium in there, so you would think that it would be a little clammy, if anything, because you've got another warm body present.
Right.
Yeah,
so
it was
crazy,
a small room. It wasn't anything. So that for sure I felt, and I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely. And then when I saw those orbs, that was like, okay, yeah. And then finally, I was like, yeah, that's cool. You guys got this.
So I'll go.
Time to go.
See ya.
Yep.
I'm out.
What a great story, man. Did that show ever go anywhere? I mean, have people seen it?
No, it was being pitched at the time, but at the time there was such a saturation of ghost
I'm sure.
shows and paranormal.
Everything was trending with the paranormal.
Yeah, right. They were on their 8,000 season, whatever there was, and there was like a bunch of ghost shows being pitched at the time. So it just got lost in the shuffle. So last I heard, nothing really came of it.
Right. Somebody's got a question. They ask, did he say someone actually lived there at the moment? I know you mentioned the homeowners.
They did.
Oh.
Yeah, they did. And the main thing was that the mom wanted the investigators to come through because her daughter was being terrorized by these
entities.
Entity spirits that were basically, she was waking up with like scratches and like hand grip, like bruises.
Oh, so she was being attacked by these spirits.
Yeah, like constant like light turning on and off and things in the bedroom area. So
that's crazy,
they
man.
definitely said that, and they basically were saying that they think it's a man, because they would hear like these boots at night, and I mean they were basically, this family was kind of being terrorized. And
do you know if they ever like tried to help as far as the little girl goes with what she was going through? Did you guys ever follow up on that?
So from what I heard, because my producing partner at the time, he followed up with them. He said that they went back a couple different times and did whatever they normally do, and then basically that whatever happened, it stopped bothering them, let's say a month later or something like that. So they cleared it.
Right.
That's good, at least.
That space, and they were kind of living in harmony after that. But I think they went back like 2 or 3 times or something like that.
Wow, that is crazy.
It's so nuts, man.
Yeah. So that was like my weird experience. And so that was the only time I ever, recorded for a paranormal show. So, but it was an experience.
Well, really cool. Thanks for that story. That was actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, Wilton, thank you for calling in.
Investigative.
Very
interesting.
investigative.
Sounds very realistic too,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wish the show took off, but who knows? If it ever does, I'll let you know. For sure.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Let's, I'll catch up with you soon, but thanks for calling in, and we appreciate the story.
Yes, thank you so much for calling into the Horror Hotline.
There we go. That's the close.
Thank you for the proper intro and the close.
You are welcome.
Well, to tell your wife hello, and we will catch you very soon, man.
Will do. All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. Have a great night. And that was Wilton with his story. What'd you think?
I liked it. That was really good.
Yeah,
that was good.
He had a. I don't know how I would react to that.
I know we do have a trivia question for you guys.
We have a trivia question because we're supposed to do that every week, aren't we?
Yes. Now, I don't know if it's up on the screen, so right now I'll read it for you.
Yep, it's not up on the screen yet.
So this one is going to be, what serial killer was never caught after the string of California murders in the 20th century? Now, if you know your answers, keep them to yourself because we will be sharing it at the end of the episode.
Will we?
Yes, I believe. Are we doing that?
Do you know who it is?
Well, I know who it is, but do you know who it is?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm thinking that, yeah.
Yeah, serial killer from California, 20th century.
Serial
Never
killer
found out who he was.
from California.
Well, the string of murders were in California. We
The
don't know
murders
if
were
he's
in
from
California.
there.
Okay, so we know.
We know that much.
So it's not. What was it? Son of Sam it was caught, right?
Yes, he is in jail, I believe still. I don't know if he's... I think he's still alive, actually. Son of Sam.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. He's the one that claimed that his neighbor's dog told him to murder people. And he called him Sam. Well, I think the dog's name was Sam, but...
Did this mother... Dan put an answer in.
Dan!
Dan.
Dan the man.
Dan's going to get... Dan is our second call today.
Oh, is he?
So we can chastise. Is this going to be a thing? Like, always the second caller of the night blows the answer.
I guess so.
Dan.
So, yes, most definitely.
Son of Sam might have been New York, yeah. I'm trying to...
I'm trying to remember. I just watched, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Mindhunters. It's a really good show if you haven't, about serial killers. But there is an episode or 2 or 3 about Son of Sam. They like reenact and have people impersonate the serial killers and stuff. It's really cool.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That doesn't sound healthy.
Well, you know. Neither are
doesn't-
first-person shooter games, so.
No. First-person shooter games are the best. All right, I'm downloading some images from my story. Let me pop these up. What is it? The little guy that used to rap with Kid Rock.
Was that the one from the late 90s?
Was it the 90s? Was Zodiac the 90s? I don't remember.
It was throughout the 90s for sure. But we don't actually know how long he was an active serial killer for because we don't know who he was.
Not caught, right?
We don't know how many people he's murdered in total. We have alleged numbers, but we don't know all of the facts, which kind of makes him a very interesting character. As far as murderers go.
Right? All right, so we did your story. Wilton called in. So I guess that means it's time for my story.
Your turn.
So I don't know that mine is very paranormal, but mine has been used as a basis for several movies and different things, and that's the story of H.H. Holmes. He was the first serial killer in the U.S., basically. The most infamous site associated here, I've gathered some articles from different stories to explain better. Yeah. The most infamous site associated with any World's Fair was the murder castle of H.H. Holmes.
I already love it. Murder
It
castles.
stood 3 miles west of the 1893 Columbian Exposition Fairgrounds in Chicago. Holmes promoted it as a hotel for fairgoers, and apparently some of them went in and never came out. Investigators found it riddled with secret passages and hidden rooms. Estimates of Holmes' final murder toll range from 9 to 200. He confessed to 27.
That's a pretty big range. 9 to 200, and then you're like, I'll take credit. 27, maybe 28 of those are mine.
He was hung in 1896.
Wow.
And the building was torn down in 1938. No monument stands there, nothing. People still drive by the empty lot, though. It's located in Chicago's Inglewood neighborhood. While the building has been replaced by the local post office, I guess it's not an empty lot anymore. It's the local post office. The site was originally the location of Holmes' infamous murder castle, where he lured unsuspecting patrons of Chicago's World Fair. Built in 1893, Holmes hired multiple contractors for various portions of the project so that not one person aside from themselves, knew the floor plan of the entire house.
Interesting.
Yeah, the bizarre blueprint included stairs and hallways that led to nowhere, oddly angled hallways, and windowless rooms designed to disorient and trap his victims.
That sounds like some Fey bullshit.
Right?
Stairs leading to nowhere, doors in the middle of nowhere. Nope.
Exactly. It's hard to know definitely just how many people Holmes murdered, and although he confessed to 27, most of whom were women. Some historians believe the number to be in the 200s. Today, maintenance workers report odd sightings and feelings of intense anxiety while in the building's basement, where, of course, most of the murders took place.
Right.
Now, it's been over 120 years since Holmes terrorized the Englewood neighborhood, but his legend is very much alive there. If you want to read more, Holmes' life and experiences are subject of a bestseller called Devil in the White City.
Oh, so it's a book too?
It's a book too. As the country's first recorded serial killer here, I think we got some. I think he's loaded. Here we go. So this is the building before it was torn down. Imagine owning this building and then having the basement just tuned up for being able to do some crazy
hidden catacombs
stuff.
up in there.
Catacombs, the hanging secret chamber, some crazy stuff in here.
That's creepy for sure. That's ooh. I would love to walk around there, honestly, but it's a post office.
It's a post office now, but that might be a good place for us to do one of the shows at and kind of do the little ghost hunting thing over there.
Very cool.
How many of you guys are familiar with H.H. Holmes' story?
Yeah, have any of you guys heard of that story before? Been there, maybe?
Let's see. You replied to yourself. Good job, Dan. Yeah, Spike Lee, pretty sure Michael Improvisato. Yeah, Chris Massey from Sparanos. Yep.
Dan says you think it still has trapdoors.
No, it's gone, dude. It's a post office now. What's up, Craig? Welcome aboard.
That's where all your lost packages are kept.
Craig, yeah, that's exactly where all the lost passages are in H.H. Holmes' Murder Castle post office.
Right.
Dan sent a picture.
I think Leo DiCaprio is supposed to play H.H. Holmes.
Dan sent me a teaser from the...
Did he really? Dan, you're a sweetheart.
Dan sent me a wonderful little Meet the Carvers piece.
A little blip.
Yep.
Very cute.
Right.
Cute.
All right. So that leads us to our second caller, which is going to be, believe it or not, Damnations.
Right.
We're going to give him a call now.
Be ready, Dan.
Be ready, Dan.
Can't wait.
We're looking forward to hearing your story. If I can. No, I wrote it down. Dan, you want me to give your number out to everybody?
Just do it. Why not?
All right, I think that's right. If not, we're calling some random person. Let's see what happens. Oh, do we do a prank show?
That would be fun. We could totally do that.
Yeah.
My birthday's April Fool's Day.
We're just going to go.
Hello.
Mr. Nations, how are you?
You totally do that.
Welcome to the Horror Hotline.
Hello.
He ruined it again.
All right, start over. Dan, first of all, turn off your damn radio. Right? Isn't that what we tell people? He's got his stuff on in the background.
Oh, okay.
So turn the volume off on that because we've got about an 8-second delay and it's never going to work. But let's try that again. Here's the welcome.
Thank you for calling it. Well, wait, hold on. Now I messed it up. Ah.
We should make it one of the buttons. We'll record it and make it one of the buttons.
Make it easy.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Horror Hotline.
How's it going, guys?
We got to get a TikTok going to that. How we doing, Dan?
I'm doing all right. Working on stuff.
Oh, yeah? What kind of stuff are you working on, Dan?
Secret projects?
No, it better not be a secret project. It better be exactly what I think it is.
No, we're getting close on the second episode.
Awesome.
Got to do some recording this weekend.
Good. I'm looking forward to it. But this is a different thing. This is the Horror Hotline show. So you're calling in to tell us an amazing story.
Yeah, what kind of spooky story do you have for
You
us?
know, I don't have like
us?
a bunch of super great ghost stories or anything. I think
Don't
here's
sell
the
yourself
thing.
too
I'm
hard
like
in the beginning.
I'm like I want to believe, but then I go to like I've been to Waverly Hills,
Right.
and like it's creepy,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't really necessarily feel anything there myself. Like I'm thinking maybe I'm just not adept to the thing. Although Sam and I did go to a place once, and I had a door fall on me, and everybody swears that like it was a giant 50-pound old school wooden door
Like, you know, like this is one of those places that like the place is actually like a old plantation house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And so it's one of those old school heavy doors, and it had been propped up, and somehow it fell outward towards me and hit me in the back. So I can't explain it. I know that I moved in time before it knocked me the fuck out.
Nice.
Concussed.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably I was living in a mobile home at one point, and Sam was there with me, and there was one particular instance in which something kept like knocking on the back door. So, and if you know anything about like trailer homes, like you got your living room area, and then you got a hallway that goes back, and usually at the end of that hallway, you got a bedroom.
Right.
To the left is a bathroom, and then there's usually a door right out the back, directly across from the bathroom.
Right.
I guess if you know you're taking a horrible shit, you can just
You
run
can just
right
open
out.
a window.
I don't know what the sign.
You can air it out by
here.
opening the door. I don't know that you have to run outside and poop in the alley. You just let the
In
stink
any
out.
case, though,
Right.
there was something like rapping on the back door, and Sam and I were watching TV, and I was like, what the hell is this, right? So we notice it once, we go back, we try and figure out what it is, you know, like, 'cause, you know, white people shit.
Right.
Fearless.
Nothing's there. So we go back again after hearing it a second time. Now, after it happens twice, like, I have this squirrely cousin, Russell Jr.,
Squirrely.
and
Of course you
like,
do. Of
I love
course
that
you
his
do.
name's Russell because
If
it's like the
Russell.
sound of like things
Rustling.
rustling in the night.
Right.
You just assume that like he's out there doing something,
Right.
and he would be known to just show up on the farm, right?
Right.
So, because this was all on a farm, like, because that's where trailer homes go, you know, if you're not in a trailer park.
Right.
Correct.
So, anyway, there's this sound a third time. So Sam happened to have these wakizashi training swords. You know, they're wooden swords that you can like train with without slicing somebody's
No
hand
way.
off. or
Not
something.
Sam.
Right.
Don't go.
So I grab it and I go running for the back door. I bust out the back door. I run all the way around the trailer. There's fucking nobody there.
Uh-oh.
There was nobody there. Like, and I thought for sure I was going to find my crackhead cousin outside, but nothing.
Were you disappointed when you didn't find your crack?
Did you look
well,
under the trailer?
I was very perplexed.
Like 10 viewers just off after you said that. I'm kidding.
Unfortunately, yeah, there was no one there to strike with the wakizashi. So
Did you look under the trailer? I mean, I would do that to you. I'd fucking
no. Well,
I'd knock
see,
on it and then jump
my
under it.
father. This is like you're just getting me into the depths of despair here. My father had put like because it was previously his trailer,
Right.
and he had put like siding all around the sides of it, so there was no way to easily just get under the trailer.
Oh,
Like you
okay.
had
No,
to
I
go
got you.
somewhere.
Right.
And you said you're a skeptic, so you don't necessarily believe in the paranormal.
It's not that I don't believe. It's not that. It's just that I've never seen anything that I was like, "Holy shit, this is the thing."
Right. He's got
Like,
the.
you know what I mean? Like,
He's a believer, but he doesn't have the proof yet. So
Right.
I'm always going to rationalize something else, but that one for me, like, I know it's not like anything incredible.
Right.
However, the land was it was right beside a church, and behind the church was an like 1880s graveyard.
I knew you
So-
were
Here
gonna
it
say
comes.
I knew you were
Now
gonna
we
say
know
it.
what's happening.
So
So next
maybe
you're
there
gonna
was
say it
just some unruly soldier or something. I don't know.
Next, you're gonna tell me it was built on top of an Indian
Burial
graveyard or
ground.
something.
Right.
Yeah, no, we weren't.
I
That,
wonder
it was
why
just
it's
near-
haunted.
It was just next door. Like
Right.
it was the little graveyard next door with like 20 or so plots.
They were just coming to say hello. What's
Yeah.
up? Making
I
sure
mean,
your
it's
shit's
very
going
possible.
okay.
Dude, it's just he wanted a cigar and a whiskey, man. He's been laying there a while. Wow.
Hey,
Maybe
I want to
that's all he
star in
wanted,
your
right?
show.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good. That's good. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people have had stuff like that happen where it's nothing too in your face or major, but
Right.
it still makes you wonder
something little.
what's going bump in the night.
My brother goes, sometimes dead is better.
Very
awesome,
cool.
guys. Appreciate you calling in, Dan. You and I will talk very, very soon. Let's
and
do that
congratulations on guessing our trivia question.
Sorry,
Mr.
I
Mr. I
answered
don't
before
follow
you
the-
said anything.
right. Well, all right. So now, for the future, don't answer trivia questions until the end of the show. We're trying to do a thing. We're at the beginning of the show.
Okay, well,
You
just
get
as
the
a
trivia
quick
question.
aside,
Sure.
so the reason I knew it was Zodiac is I was actually at a friend's house in high school,
Right.
and they had the original Robert Graysmith book about the Zodiac.
Really?
So I don't know if you've seen the movie. Robert Graysmith was sort of portrayed by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes. Oh my God, the movie was really good. If you guys haven't seen it.
And yeah, so the way he wrote the book, though, even though it was a true crime thing,
Right.
I mean, well, I guess it was pretty common in the 80s and 90s they would do this.
Mm-hmm.
It was written in more of a novel scenario. So it was kind of like it was a novel in the form of him,
Right.
trying to solve cryptograms and whatnot. So
Right.
that's how I first became interested in the Zodiac.
Nice.
Yeah, it's always been a very interesting case, to say the least. Lots of details go into it. Obviously, he's a puzzle guy.
Yeah, I mean, they've had like 2 or 3 people they've possibly attributed it to, but still don't know.
Yeah, they
not
think
for
he's
sure,
dead.
yeah.
I think they assume that he's passed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine at this point he's dead, right?
Because there's too much. I mean, now we've got too much. For forensic and
Right.
everything. He drips a piece of skin flake on that paper. He's writing the clues on it.
Paperclip.
And all of a sudden you're screwed. Versus a nice 100 years ago where you could just throw them in the backyard and let the pigs eat them.
Right. Good Lord. No trace.
Yeah.
No trace. Well, thank you for calling in. Your story is much appreciated, Dan, and we can't wait for episode 2 of Meet the Carvers as well. So
It's coming very soon.
we are just so excited for it.
Good to talk to you guys.
Awesome. Dan, have a great night, and let's catch up tomorrow. We haven't talked in a while. Let's do that.
Thank you
Absolutely.
for being on
All
the
right, man.
Horror
Have a
Hotline.
great night. All right, go ahead.
Take it easy.
I keep walking over her talking here, and it's horrible.
He hung up anyway. It's
Yep.
fine.
Yep. All right, so that's done.
Well, you guys, that is all we have for you as far as our spooky stories, but we are going to need 2 more people for next week's episode. So if you have any spooky stories to share with us.
Maine, did you have a story?
Ooh.
Maine dropped a number in there.
I believe so. I think I saw that. So yeah, if you guys have submissions, or if you want to be featured on the show, hit up me or Thomas, DM us, message us, let us know. We will figure something out
We
for
will get you on an episode. Right now, we need stories. So I mean,
Yep.
we're not out there. We need them. Period.
Got
Bring
it.
me stories.
And like I said, everybody has at least one. Everybody's
Jason
got at
wants
least
more
one.
Becks.
There you go.
There you go. Was that enough? Oh, I'm sorry, Maine, dude. I didn't even catch that. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I didn't catch that.
Jenny's number.
I
one
so
song.
can't believe.
Oh,
didn't catch
because you
that.
commented the 8675309.
That's
Oh, okay.
Jenny's number.
8675309.
All right, no more singing. Jason's got a UFO story.
A UFO story. I mean, we'll take it.
I guess the question is, were you scared during this UFO story? Because then it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm. Were you abducted during this UFO
Did you get
story?
probed?
Oh, that'd
Maine,
be
you're definitely
interesting.
in. Let's have a little convo before next Thursday, and yeah, we'll definitely have you in and have a story. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. That was
Most
a
definitely.
good session, 4 good stories, and we will be setting stuff up for next week. Make sure to go and like the Horror Hotline Facebook page. Bex will be posting stuff to the Horror TV page where and let's put it in the beta testers group too, and get everybody to start watching again.
Yeah, we had a pretty good crowd tonight, so a very good turnout. Thank you guys for that.
We appreciate all you guys coming. We're actually going to audio strip this too and start putting it up in different podcast stuff. So Craig, we're glad you made it as well. Anybody else want to say hello? We've got Maine's here. Wilton's story is on point. I agree. Maine will get you next week. Let's see. Who else? Did we answer everybody's question? Chad Garish. How we doing, Chad?
Oh, we got a new one.
Chad, fortunately, it's recorded and it will be up there shortly. And yeah, give him devil horns. There you go. All right. You guys have a fucking great week. And we will see you next Thursday, roughly around the same time, hoping at the right time. We had to reboot the whole system before we started today. It took about 15 minutes. But yes, you guys have a great night. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff.
Do it all. Do it all.
Make sure to subscribe to Horror TV. We need you guys. We appreciate you and have a great night, and we'll catch you soon.
See you on the flip side.
Oh, see, I'm not ready with the graphics again. This is where you're going to say something a little more. Oh, we don't have the outro over here. So, yeah, we're out, guys. I'll add it in the edit. You guys